So I decided to test Microsoft Copilot agents. Now, how hard can it be? I've built AI agents, I've done RAG on AWS, I kind of know my way around. An hour later, I'm staring at two different Copilot Studios. Now, that's not exactly right. It took me days to actually manage to sign up for Copilot Studio, but that's another story. And the docs are really outdated, including Copilot itself, which is not too up to date because it pointed me to different buttons that did not exist actually. And I'm not even sure I'm on the right product. But once I pushed through the rough edges, I found a product that is genuinely interesting. And this is what the video is about. This is about the potential for Microsoft Copilot AI agents. So to cut Microsoft some slack, this is still very early. Some of these features, some of these products have been released just a few weeks ago. But here's why I am paying attention to Microsoft Copilot agents. So basically, this is Microsoft's play on allowing corporate enterprise users, non-developers, actually gain access and use AI and incorporate it into their ecosystem. And this is a huge ecosystem. And by using AI agents inside their apps like spreadsheets and PowerPoint and Word, that really enables the users. And this is something that is still not fully integrated with other AI agents and other products. But when you take that and into your ecosystem, that makes it huge. On a higher level, there are two types of AI agents you can build. You can either build declarative agents. These are the ones that you will use in Copilot Studio. And there are custom agents. These are the one that you will be coding yourself if you're a developer. And I think you can create some of them in Microsoft Copilot Studio as well. This is super confusing. There are a lot of ways to actually accomplish these same tasks and build these different agents, but I guess this is what also makes it so powerful. But in this video, we're talking mostly about declarative agents. The first Copilot Studio is actually within the Microsoft 365 Copilot interface. They have so many interfaces. They have chat.microsoft. There's this Copilot for Microsoft 365. Microsoft, please use different naming conventions. This is so confusing. And why do I have to sign in as separate users? Why is it so hard? Why is it so easy with all other systems, but you make it so hard for users? Anyways, rant over. This is the first version of Copilot Studio. Let's call it the minified one, the simpler one. This is where users can actually install and use agents from the store, from the marketplace. You have a lot of options. And then users can also create their own agents. And with this system, it's fairly simple, but limited. Again, this is the minified one. And you can pick up from a template or create your own, and you can customize it. You can configure it. You can provide, you can use Copilot to create it, but what we have here is a dumbed version of it. You're basically doing prompt engineering for creating the agents. You don't have too much options, but there's an upside. So these AI agents have more access to documents. So if you enable them in Microsoft Word, for example, they will be able to have access to the actual context of the document. And you can add knowledge base, you can add files, meetings, sites, all sorts of things that you can't use as a knowledge base, as a RAG. So while this is a dumbed down version of it, it is very capable still. And you can see that you can give it access to different apps, and you can use it from these apps, from the Copilot functionality. You can allow users to create images, and it is fairly useful. Now, you don't have things like accessing MCPs. You don't have a lot of other things. And I have to say that this interface is very well structured as opposed to the whole other ecosystem. This interface is fairly good for end users, and this enables them to create a lot of functionality, to use AI in a special way to give it access to different resources while keeping it simple. And then there's the other Copilot Studio. So this is a different Copilot Studio, and this is much more powerful. Here you have flows, you have tools, you can create a blank agent, and you have all sorts of functionality, which is basically endless. And this is comparable to other AI agent tools that you know. You can create the agent here. You can select the models here. You can add triggers. Now, triggers are interesting. Again, this is in the Microsoft ecosystem, so you have access to things like OneDrive. When a document is added, you can set a schedule. You can do all sorts of things here. You set the instructions. You have access to knowledge base, where you have more options than in the previous one. You can actually connect to databases and external services. You can do web search, and you have tool usage, which is powerful. You can use, there's a huge library of tools you can use from the marketplace, a very large list of tools, which is very, very helpful. Or you can just use MCPs as well. So that's a useful feature. You have topics, you have evaluations, analytics. I haven't actually dove into guardrails, which I'm sure they have somewhere here. And you can actually do a lot of customization with Power Automate. So for example, you can transform the data, you can control what comes in to this whole workflow, to this agent. You can control what goes out, all the sorts of things that you can do with Power Automate. Again, this is very powerful. In the next video, I will dive into creating an agent and using all of these tools. But for now, I just wanted to show you how powerful this tool can be. And it is worth exploring. Think of how this gives you access to all the tools. This gives you the ability to push something, to publish something, whether it's into your internal organization or publish something to the general marketplace, and allow your users to use AI agents from the Microsoft ecosystem. And like I said, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually build an agent. We'll deal with MCPs. I'll show you the trade-offs, pretty much what I learned from creating my first agent here, which was, again, it wasn't easy. The developer experience is still not fully polished. There are some things that were buggy. I had to refresh and then the bug would go away. Lots of interesting things. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.